gun. Under the wall. Yeah. One nation under the gun.
Wake up. It's the first of the month.
Yeah.
Hope in my pocket, smoking my lungs. Free all the leaders. Word to the preacher. Tell him the victory's already won. Call the collector. Scramble my funds. One nation under the gun.
Under the wall.
Scratching and surviving. Stretching and remixing. They thought all this game was free. I made them pay attention. I can't seem to get away. Get away. Get away. Land of the free.
Moving low key and dodging the fit. Scars on my heart, but the gold's in my head. From the Bay to LA, I'm carrying the weight. They love you, they hate you, that's how they gon' play. 1600 where the powers of flex. Writing my story, no edits, no stress. Been on the block, all I know is the snakes. They plotting on my moves and they raising the stakes. Hopes in my vein, but the system's a maze. Every step that I take and it feels like a haze. Stretching my blessing, trying to dub, but my win. Lost some homies in the game, now I'm praying for them. They taxing my soul, but I'ma keep it real. Sign my name on the dotted line, blood on the deal. From the block to the White House, dodging all these traps. Got my city on my back, put my pain in the rap. Now I'm back on the grind and I'm running up the score. They thought I fall off, now I'm kicking down the door. Got the money in the pocket and the smoke in the air. Every move that I make them stop instead. 1600 where the power resides. Speaking my truth, let it light up the sky. Free my dog, let the preacher say grace. Every scar on my soul is a story to trace.
Wake up. It's the first of the month. Hope in my pocket, smoking my lungs. Free all the leaves.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we're gonna get this show started.
One nation under the
Do what we
gun.
came to do and get up out of here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't take long to do it. Old school. All right, let's get this show started.
Feel like I'm stuck in a cycle.
Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Thursday.
Stuck in time. It's like a curse.
Let's go, ladies and gentlemen.
Can't escape
Good morning.
it. Deja vu.
Welcome to the show. Let's go.
It's deja vu when I'm running up the reps. I'm like the Terminator screaming.
I'll be back.
It's deja vu when I'm out here flying first class.
It's like every week I gotta take out the trash.
I'm on top of my game. You can tell that I made it. Look at my grass.
Facts.
Cars in the garage
With tanks full of gas. I play the game so raw, I won't finish last.
Sitting in my living
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
This is how it's supposed to happen when you get your
Hey,
famous.
the algorithm turned me to a maniac. Let's do it, ladies and gentlemen.
Going viral 'cause my Zodiac.
I got all these numbers on my spreadsheet. Benjamin Franklin is my bestie. Let's do it, ladies and
And
gentlemen.
it's my ex that mean they left me. They don't get me pops.
Welcome to Zeus Nardo.
I say it with my chest 'cause I mean it. Got a lot of confidence and I'm conceited.
Smokey,
Call
now.
me the master with a new
Here goes.
I'ma take off
There's
this
a haters,
spaceship.
ladies and gentlemen.
I haven't gone into Zeus.
That's a lie right there.
That shit was radical.
Please.
It was horrible. I'm like, you've gone. Zeus has gone way off.
They always say the same thing.
It's like deja vu.
They did, right?
It's like deja vu. It's like deja vu.
It doesn't bother me.
It's like deja vu.
All right, welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Thursday. What is today? March 12th, 2026. Once again, we're back in the Thunderdome. I'm your host, I'm your pilot, and you know exactly why we are here today. We have to do the real work that it takes to save this great country of ours from the evil clutches of Donald Trump and his legion of MAGA demons who obviously have no idea what they're doing and what they've gotten themselves into. But before we get into that, let's take care of some very important housekeeping items. For those of you tuning in, this might be your first time listening to this show, and you're wondering who I am. I go by the name Zeus, or some like to say Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H? Well, it's quite simple. The first H is because I am honest. I'm the most honest person on social media. All right, there you go. Second H is because I am humble. I'm the most humble person on social media. There's nobody more humble than me. If I get it wrong, I'll be the first to apologize. But here's the thing. Just because your feelings are hurt does not mean that I owe you an apology. Most likely it means you need to sit your special behind down and do what? Listen to this special broadcast. All right. And then the last and the final H, ladies and gentlemen, which is arguably one of the most important H's of them all. It is truly because I am and will always remain, you've guessed it, the most handsome. Get registered now. Check your registration. At least 6 months. W's in the chat for Mr. Incognito. Thank you, Tara, for pinning that. And that goes to the next part. If you want to do what you can to support this platform, please do it. But the main thing I need you to do is honestly tap the screen, share the live, especially to every single Trump supporter. You know what I'm good at is I'm making them very angry, very upset, because whether it's me or some of the amazing people we actually get to have the opportunity to talk to, they get up here and they tell the truth, unfiltered, unregulated, without any red tape, so to speak. And it's perfectly crafted to make sure every single Trump supporter hates themselves a lot more, because once they find out how Donald Trump has duped them, they never feel good. And don't worry about Trump supporters trying to insult you and trying to say things bad about you, because we're way past that, ladies and gentlemen. Please, I'm going to say this especially to my mutuals. Don't allow MAGA to ever feel like they could get inside of your head right now, because these people are in a world of hurt. And what I mean by that is just look at the gas prices. Just look at the gas prices, right? She-Fit, W. Rick. They know they did that. And it was all because they couldn't stand Vice President Kamala Harris, and they couldn't stand former President Joe Biden. And so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll get into this, if there are any Trump supporters out there, do me a favor and leave this show right now, because I promise you it's going to get very, very uncomfortable in here. I promise you it will. But get this, you don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
All right. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, the doors to the Thunderdome have officially closed. And we're going to get right into what we came to talk about. Iran is threatening the United States, and they said they are going to get us to a place in the world where the price per barrel for oil is going to be $200. Donald Trump won't say this, all right? So we're going to go ahead and address this. The mainstream media, they're not telling you this. Well, some of them are. But we're saying this right now because there are a legion of demonic Trump supporters still on social media. They won't lace up their boots to go save this, to help keep these prices down and go over there and help topple that regime. They will never do that. They'll just be on social media saying this is all worth it.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Almost half past the hour on your Thursday morning. Take a look at your screen. This massive fire on an oil tanker in Iraqi waters, forcing the country to shut down its oil port operations. Iran's attacks on shipping lanes and energy infrastructure are sending oil prices higher.
Wow.
And today, Iran is warning the world to prepare for $200 a barrel. All of this is creating chaos in the markets, impacting the U.S. economy here at home. News Nation national correspondent Alicia Nieves is live on Wall Street for us. Alicia, it could take months for official economic data to drop, but Americans are feeling it right now.
If you think about this, right? So oil prices are going up, right? Which you can immediately see this happening when you go fill up your cars. If you got a farm, you're filling up your tractors. This is hurting people on a daily basis. In some cases, thousands and thousands of dollars extra. And then to add insult to injury, Donald Trump illegally imposed the tariffs on the American people, which added thousands and thousands of dollars additionally to your already fixed income, very limited income, right? And then you add insult to injury and you see the unemployment is going right back up. The numbers were revised again. And I don't know. I really don't trust the numbers coming out of the Trump administration, but I could just tell you one thing. Every single thing Donald Trump has done has resulted in Americans losing more and more. And that includes health insurance. And so now just listen to this.
Yeah, we typically cover economic data, but to your point there, it takes a long time for economic data to trickle into what we're seeing right now. And long before that, we really experience this kind of shock to the economy, or any shock to the economy in everyday life. We certainly see them in financial markets, ahead of what's happening right now with the war in Iran, and certainly even a partial government shutdown.
This is what war does.
We were talking about a moment ago, this is certainly something that's adding a shock to the system. Brent.
Overnight, crude oil tops $100 a barrel. Oh, I thought it was going down, remember?
$100 a barrel again. And as you said, Marky, Iran's attacks are not helping. The International Energy Agency announcing its largest ever release of crude reserves, and President Trump plans to relieve another 172 million barrels.
So Donald Trump is releasing oil from our strategic petroleum reserves. And you know who did that? Joe Biden did that. Isn't it amazing that Donald Trump is literally following in the footsteps, so to speak, of Joe Biden. But for some reason, when Joe Biden does it, MAGA crashed out. But now I hear Trump supporters out there saying, I don't mind spending. I put a video up. He said 30 cents. It's really more than 30 cents. But now you all are saying, we don't mind spending extra money when we go to the gas station as long as it stops Iran from having access to a boom boom. And I'm sitting here saying to myself, does it even matter if they have a boom boom? If the gas prices are going through the roof, it's the same outcome. If they have the boom boom, they were just going to use it to do this, but they're already doing it with drones.
Investors are still spooked. We talk a lot about everyday Americans, relying
Look at
on
this.
some sort of gas, right?
I will continue to show MAGA gas prices on a daily basis because I just can't get over it. And you know what? I got to stop it. Look at this. MAGA, you did this. Why did they do this?
You're either stupid or you hate the country.
And they heard Donald Trump say that about them, and they still went and voted for him. This isn't America first. This is America worse. And this is why I get so upset. I didn't even want to go live today, ladies and gentlemen. I really didn't. But somebody has to go to hell this morning. Somebody actually has to go to hell this morning on this show. And ladies and gentlemen, you know what it is. I'm not going to go any further and belabor the issue, but I think you get the point. The cost of living will continue to go up under Donald Trump. And he's doing it all because he does not want to release whatever is in those Epstein files. And we all know. I read a post. They said there's video footage out there for educational purposes only. There's video footage of him doing things with children, ungodly. So, and so because MAGA refuses to hold their dear leader accountable, they still want to prop him up and force the rest of the world to suffer. I used to just say us in the United States, but at this point, ladies and gentlemen, it's obvious the whole entire world has to suffer because MAGA loves to be ruled by P3DOs. You all are the worst of the worst and the scum of the earth. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in warming up the lake of fire. Somebody has to go to hell, and it's you, MAGA. Ladies and gentlemen, let's send these demons for the first time in this show today straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA.
So Donald Trump yesterday, I just couldn't keep up with all of the lies, ladies and gentlemen. But I honestly think the way to destroy Donald Trump is whoever is listening to this, because a lot of people, they borrow a lot of Riz, a lot of my rhetoric. They borrow a lot of my content. I don't get a lot of credit, but I really do deserve it because I'm a bit of an innovator. This is what you have to do. Get every single clip of Donald Trump talking. Right? This is how you got to defeat this demon. I thought about this, and it's really it came to me. You have to put him in a room, a padded room, and put on the TV all of the various lies that he has told. And then you have to put him in the center of that room, and you hit play on the first. You got to have like 30 TVs in there, right? And hit play on the first TV. And the first TV will play one of his lies, and then you will tell him, what did you mean when you said that? And then just let him say what he means, all right? And then we're going to go all the way around the room. It'll be a nice little circle padded room. And eventually, the world will see how crazy and insane this demon really is. And hopefully, that will be enough to get a majority of his supporters to stop supporting him. Because what he did yesterday, this is demonic work. He didn't rest. He went from one event to the other event, promoting misinformation, disinformation, lies. I saw the hand with the Epstein curse, and I said, wow, this is what they got to do to cover up how bad things really are. And it doesn't work with me because I see right through it. But let's just listen to Donald Trump try to convince the world everything is fine.
We're doing a great job. There's never been a better year for a president. I mean, I've been rated. There has never been a better year for a president first year than what we have.
He said there's never been a better year for a president than his first year last year. Dude, last year was so bad. Charlie Kirk is no longer on the face of the earth. All right. Last year was so bad. Doge came and left and never gave us our checks. Last year was so bad. We all got hit with the tariffs. Unemployment through the roof, the economy tanking, stock market tanking. I mean, bro, where are you getting this from? Last year? And you're giving yourself, well, I guess if making the country worse is the goal, then I guess he did do a good job. But this is the demon talking.
Never been a better year for a president. I mean, I've been rated. There has never been a better year for a president first year than what we had.
Wow.
That includes the stoppage of 8 wars with a ninth to come.
He said he stopped 8 wars. Well, what happened? What happened February 28th then, bro? If you were so great at stopping him, how did we end up in one?
And what we've done, the economy is roaring. It's phenomenal. That's why I'm here. This is an excursion, a little excursion. And I think it's only that. And in that little time, that short period of time, we've taken care of business. We took care of a country that was very dangerous, very bad, would have had a nuclear weapon if it weren't for me and the B-2 bombers and what we did not very long ago. They would have had a nuclear weapon and we would have had levels of problems nobody has ever seen before.
So this is what I mean, ladies and gentlemen. This is exactly what I mean. All you got to do is put him in a room and just play these clips of him talking to himself and ask him, say, hey, what exactly do you mean when you say the B-2 boomers and things like that? Because according to the real reports out there, things are actually getting a lot worse. Things are actually getting way out of hand with this war. And make sure you do call it a war. But MAGA, this is my question to you. Why do you continue to listen to these lies? Huh? Why do you continue to allow this man right here? He had so that was him at a news station yesterday. But before that, guess where he was at? He was in a room full of, they said 500 people. He was in a room with 500 people. I mean, how does Donald Trump get people to show up to the rallies at this point? I'm even seeing reputable people who are on the right denouncing Donald Trump. So we really are at the bottom of the barrel, ladies and gentlemen. And this part right here is what troubles me. He goes to his rally, bashes Thomas Massie because Thomas Massie, pushed for the Epstein files to be released. But he got 500 volunteers in this room, and he just lies about why he's in this war, saying it's already won, blah, blah, blah.
Is that a great name? Well, it's only good if you win. You can only do. And we've won. Let me say, we've won.
Have we won this war, ladies and gentlemen? Does anyone think we've won this war so far? Because Donald Trump is saying we've won it. And if you think you have won this war, I must remind you, I'd be remiss if I didn't. Go look at the price of gas. Thank you. W's in the chat for all of you. And none of these people in the background have the courage to just stop him and say, sir, stop it. None of them. So this is why I have no respect for the Trump supporters.
Well, it's only good if you win. You can only do. And we've won. Let me say, we've won. You never like to say too early you won. We won. We won the bet. In the first hour, it was over.
Really?
Oh, we won. But they gave me a list of names at general. Sir, you can pick the name you'd like, sir. I said, the name of what? The name of the attack on Iran, sir. And they gave me like 20 names. And I'm like falling asleep. I didn't like any of them. Then
you hear him say that? He's falling asleep in the middle of, supposedly committing the United States to a war. But the part that woke him up was when he had the opportunity to name the conflict. And I've posted a video about it. The reason he called it Epic Fury is because he's an SEO guru. You know what SEO is, right? For those of you on the internet, when you're branding your products and stuff, you want people, when they type it in the search engine, certain letters, your brand to pop up. Well, Donald Trump doesn't like it when you go into Google and you type Trump Epstein, right? So he wants it to be when you type Trump Epstein, it'll go Trump Epic Fury, right? So he's trying to, that's the part of this whole thing that woke him up. It wasn't the fact that men and women in uniform, men and Americans would be losing their life. That wasn't interesting to him. But an opportunity to cover up the Epstein files, that got his attention. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't make this stuff up.
On Iran, sir. And they gave me like 20 names. And I'm like falling asleep. I didn't like any of them. Then I see Epic Fury. I said, I like that name. I like that name.
Yeah. So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, what we're doing is we're watching Donald Trump use war to cover up crimes with Jeffrey Epstein. right? And we're not going to allow him. We're not going to allow him to get away with it on this show. And so, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I did see somebody else in the audience disagree with me, and they're nothing but a troll. But I'm going to do this once again. Let's go ahead and warm up the lake of fire, because a hard head makes for a soft behind. And not one of you Trump supporters that get on here and come in here and criticize me have ever came up and demonstrated your willingness to actually back up what your daddy is saying by enlisting in the armed services. You got Pete Hegseth, one of the best. Why not do it? I know why, because you're scared. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending these demons where they belong, straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
And that's a huge W, Zeus. Yeah, I got more bad news. And in case, MAGA, this is from one of your own. In case you're wondering about whether or not we're really going to get to $200 a barrel, let's check out Donald Trump's energy secretary, who we all saw a few days ago manipulated the markets with a tweet, and then he took the tweet down, right? And by the way, many of you may have heard Donald Trump try to say, you know, the United States is going to guarantee the tankers to get through the Strait of Hormuz. But you saw how Iran took care of that, right? They said, if you are of the United States, we have no problem setting that thing on fire. So to answer the question, are we going to get to $200 a barrel? To me, it looks like it, because when you can't get people out of the Trump administration to be straight up with you, like Chris Wright, he won't be straight up with the American people. He's still gaslighting us.
In these few weeks, the question is how hard is the pain and how much are people going to have to endure? Gas prices are going up. Jet fuel prices are jumping, and CEOs are saying that ticket prices are also going to go up. Iran just said that the world should be ready for oil at $200 a barrel.
Wow.
You don't agree with Iran on anything, but do you agree that people need to be prepared for that?
We're going through short-term energy disruption for just huge long-term gain. You're seeing Iran's behavior.
Could
They're
that
attacking
hit? Could
every
short-term
country in the
mean
region.
$200 a barrel?
I would say unlikely, but we are focused on the military operation and solving a problem. I'm not going to guess on short-term trading. That's based on psychology more than flows of oil. The world is very well supplied with oil right now. Thanks to President Trump's leadership, we're by far and away the world's largest oil producer, by far and away the world's natural gas producer. Both of those are growing.
You see this, ladies and gentlemen? No honesty, no accountability with the American people. How many of you out there believe this guy? How many of you believe this guy, Chris Wright? Because I don't. All right? I don't believe him at all. Because when you think about it, and I know this morning the new Iranian leader, the Ayatollah, he made a very clear and pointed statement to the United States. Basically, he said, hey, this war will not end until all of the GCC countries get those United States military bases out of here. We're done. And what is Donald Trump doing? He's still running around here saying this is the most successful year. Notice he hasn't been talking that Joe Biden stuff lately, because Donald Trump is truly scared, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news, Citibank shut down offices across the UAE. Did you know that? Why did Citibank shut down offices? Citibank is closing all but one of its branches in the UAE and evacuating staff from offices in Dubai, in the Dubai International Financial Center, all right, telling employees to work from home. And this is according to AP and Reuters. The move comes after Iran's command warned it could target banking and economic interests linked to the United States and Israel across the Gulf. I thought we won. Video, look at this. There was actually a drone strike too, ladies and gentlemen, in Dubai. Check this out. I mean, I'll show you this stuff, ladies and gentlemen, because, you know, MAGA, they won't show you this. But look at this. Hey DJ, Wild Man. Hey Dame, is Dame here? How come y'all ain't over there protecting us, protecting our assets? Look at this.
ये ड्रोन जा रहा है, आप लोग देखिए.
Lord have mercy.
भागो पीछे तो पीछे।
Look at that.
बहुत तगड़ा ही धमाका हुआ है यहाँ बहरीन में। देख लीजिए ये देखिए।
I mean, ladies and gentlemen, does this look like we're winning? MAGA, honestly, how is this winning? Yeah, I give you the real deal because they say, "Oh, well, Zeus, show us that is real." When did that happen? Dude, you could go listen to the news from Al Jazeera yourself, ladies and gentlemen.
Drone has hit a residential tower overnight in Dubai. It sparked a fire, and residents were forced to evacuate the building, which is in the Creek Harbour district. The government says no one was injured. It was one of several attacks on the UAE within the last 24 hours, including a drone strike near Dubai's international airport. Zain Basravi is live for us in Doha. Zain, we have a taste of some of the activity in the Gulf region overnight by way of strikes. What else can you tell us?
Well, it's a much longer list. We know that there have been drone strikes throughout the course of this morning in the UAE. The UAE air defenses dealing with missile and drone attacks since 3 a.m. really, and again at 6 a.m. today.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, how is this making America safer? Does anyone think this is making America safer, ladies and gentlemen? Or do you all start to understand that what we've been fed? This is what we've been fed from the Trump administration, a bunch of lies, a bunch of misinformation. I'm going to keep beating this drum, and I'm going to keep showing MAGA that guess what? You did this to the United States of America. All of this because Donald Trump is trying to cover up his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein and, the Venezuela thing, because people are saying, oh, well, Zeus, this isn't as bad as you think it is, because what we're going to do is we're just going to use the oil from Venezuela to offset all of these costs. And that's actually what made what Donald Trump did very amazing, because, see, that was genius what he did. But I'm saying to myself, I go, are you not following that Donald Trump has literally spent his entire first term destroying the relationship we had with our allies, right? He destroyed the relationship that we had with our allies. The way he beat up Zelensky, told him he didn't have the cards, only to be in a situation now where he literally needs Zelensky, right? What do you say, MAGA? What do you say, MAGA? Oh, yeah, and it gets worse. It gets worse, ladies and gentlemen. It does. I'm trying to find oh, yeah, I know what I was looking for. It gets worse, MAGA. Hold on. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. The UK, I think I saw something this morning where the UK in Parliament, had some choice words for your daddy. And we'll go ahead and get this on the record, too, just to show MAGA that the outrage isn't just with Big Zeus. The outrage is international in a way, right? It's really international, MAGA. Listen to this.
Be clear, Donald Trump's war in Iran is illegal, and the situation that has unfolded since is verging on insane. Oil is falling from the skies, sewers are exploding, the IRGC is indiscriminately attacking civilians across the region, cargo ships, and potentially even mining the Strait of Hormuz, the economic consequences of which will be stark for the global economy, but for every single person living on these isles too. And whether the Prime Minister accepts it or not, he did indeed take us into that war when he allowed the Americans to use UK bases just last week. But I have a specific question. He'll have seen the same footage I have of an American Tomahawk missile landing on a primary school, killing 110 children. Does he believe that to be a war crime?
Does he believe that to be a war crime? That Donald Trump, I call him Secretary of War Crimes, Pete Kegsbury, dropped the boom boom on that school full of girls. I never want to hear any of you so-called Christians get up here and lie about how much you care about protecting the children after you watch Donald Trump greenlight something like that. When are you Trump supporters going to just hang it up and stop the shenanigans, huh? Because I can ask everyone, honestly, everyone in the audience, do we believe anything MAGA says in this country? Does anyone believe a thing that a Trump supporter says out there? Look at that. I'm not them. Listen, I am just I'm the voice of a lot of people and how a lot of people feel. But make no mistake, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people do not like MAGA. W to the chat. We hate MAGA with a passion, and it's righteously, it's necessary. And so, speaking of hating Donald Trump and MAGA, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? I got a bit of a treat for us all. We have our good friend James Carville. Remember, he did the video and said he hates Donald Trump with a passion. He has an update. I guess people got on him about that. And he has a message for the kingdom. And I know he does these videos for all of you, ladies and gentlemen. I know he does, because there's a select group of people that I really call real patriots in this country. We are the people that hate Donald Trump. We don't want anything kind of illegal to happen, but we want accountability at the highest level for everybody around him, and especially him, right? And we are on message about how he needs to be dealt with. All right. And this is why I'm at the point with this situation right now. I get it. We got a lot of issues in America right now, and a lot of them feel like they should be the priority. But in my mind right now, the biggest priority is getting this demon out of the White House. Because I can argue with you about everything else, because at least we'll still have a country. But if you understood where Donald Trump is mentally, you would understand why a lot of us are saying I can't fight with you about that right now, because Donald Trump will destroy the United States of America if that is what it takes to save him from spending the rest of his life and his family going to prison for all the crimes they committed. This is where we are at. We literally have a gangster in the White House. You got to wake up, folks. Get your head out of your you-know-what and get in the game. You got to be on this type of time.
Good morning. I don't know where the fuck about, but it's good something. So, and most of you know, about 3 days ago, or 4 days ago or something, I made a video, and I said I wanted more Trump derangement syndrome. I said I prayed to have more Trump derangement syndrome. I said I actually prayed that Jesus would appear to me in my sleep to instruct me that I was the instrument of his will on this earth. Jesus did not appear to me. I got a good night's sleep, but I got to tell you, the man didn't come down and chat with me. And I got some serious people that I think, and some of them actually care about me, family members, clerics. And they said, look, James, you just went too far. You have to go out. You have to apologize for this. You know, we respect that you don't like him, but you can't use Jesus and motherfucker in the same sentence. I didn't actually consider apologizing, to be honest with you, but when you get a criticism like that, you take it to heart. And then, as if to, like, validate me, and I do believe in signs, I think the Lord God so approved of what I was doing that Donald Trump goes to Dover, Delaware. You know what that is, what they call they greet the fallen coffins of fallen soldiers. Of course, Trump has said that he thinks that people that serve in the military are fools. That would include me, my dad, all of my uncles, my nephews. I know that you think that I'm a fool, all right? But God sent you there, and he made sure that you didn't take your hat off. Because everybody in the world, instinctively, you know this, I know this, maybe we're walking down the street, and there's a funeral procession coming, we immediately stop. We take our hat off. We don't even know the person in the hearse. But it's a matter of respect. If we're in our cars, we pull off to the side of the road. That's just respect. When he didn't do that, that was God telling me, James, you are right. I took this, sir, maybe God's not a sir. I took this, dear Lord, is a message directly to me. And I feel very sanctified. I feel very encouraged. I feel like that I'm doing the right thing and that I'll use any and all language at my disposal to share with you how deeply I detest Donald John Trump in a way that I never ever thought I could hate another human being with the passion and the depth that I hate fucking Donald Trump. Understand that. And Lord, thank you for your intervention. Thank you to make all of the people that attack me, some who love me, understand that I am executing thy will on this earth. Thank you.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Any questions? MAGA, do you understand? And I'm the nice one. Think about that. I'm actually the nice one. But over the years, I've had too many conversations with you. I've tried to be reasonable, right? Haven't we, honestly, let me ask the audience, haven't a majority of us, don't you think you've been reasonable with these people from the very beginning? Hold on. Didn't we try to be reasonable? Huh? We tried to come to them with facts. Hey, here's the facts. Please consider them. And what did they do? Slapped them right out of our hands. Here we come back again. Hey, here's the facts. What did they do? They cursed us out. Hey, with the facts, your daddy's trying to eliminate us. Remember C-19? He was giving us lies. He literally lied to us about the dangers of it. Literally got up there and it said, why don't you hit the body with light and maybe inject it with some disinfectant? Lied. Americans falling off the face of the earth, holding super spreader rallies. And you all continue to come around and try to act like, well, you know what? Dr. Anthony Fauci. And then the most egregious thing he did, and I will never, ever forgive him, what he did on January 6th, when he summoned a mob of you to the Capitol. It was a lie. You do know that, right? He did not win that election. Well, how do you explain Biden getting all those votes overnight? Well, if you don't have the capacity mentally to understand how elections work, maybe you should spend the rest of your time learning, because you're not that bright. So you go off speculation. Donald Trump knows that, lures you all to the Capitol. And at one point, it got so dangerous that you actually wanted to unalive your own vice president. I didn't vote for Mike Pence. You did. You wanted to take him out. He's in the back of Secret Service, I hear, beating up on Secret Service because he's in the back seat and they're trying to take him safely. He's throwing ketchup at the wall for 180 minutes. He did absolutely nothing while our democracy was under assault, while law enforcement officers were being beat up. And you all come to us and say, oh, it was a peaceful protest, Zeus. Oh, Nancy Pelosi. Well, why did the police let us in? So, knowing all of that, and then you go back and disrespect Vice President Kamala Harris, you disrespected Joe Biden. You watched him get convicted. You knew he had been impeached twice, right? You watched him get convicted. You saw him get found liable for SA with E. Jean Carroll, and you made excuse after excuse for this man. Now here we are in a forever war, MAGA. I'm like James Carville. I am a Trump hater. The depths of the hate. Honestly, I was raised not to hate anybody. I was. But there might be an exception for that, I think. And I'm struggling with the Lord on it too. But there may be an exception for it because, like James said, he literally went to a dignified transfer and wouldn't take his hat off for our men and women in uniform. What? He skipped out on one to go to a fundraising event? I got zero respect for a person that would do such a thing. And so, ladies and gentlemen, join me, because I know MAGA is crying this morning, but they're crying because all we're doing is telling them the truth. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in once again warming up this lake of fire and sending these demons. These are wicked, evil people. Join me in sending them straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
All right, my last thing that I'll bring up, because I have so many other ways I could just totally destroy MAGA, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm not even going through everything because we're on an abbreviated show, right? I'm not going to go through everything, but I'd like to give it to MAGA in more ways than once. So obviously, MAGA, I'm going to give it to you again one more time, and this was from one of your own, and you know who he is, Nick Fuentes. But listen to what he is saying, ladies and gentlemen, and by the way, I hate Nick Fuentes, but you know what? Sometimes you gotta do something dirty to get rid of a demon. I get it.
Happy to vote for a Democrat for no reason other than they're gonna drop the hammer on the fucking people that did this to us, because it's as simple as that for me. You were voted in to stop this war and deport the illegals. You're doing neither. Now I want you to suffer. I want you to pay a price.
Oh.
And that price is very direct. I want you impeached. I want you investigated. I want you thrown out. I want you to lose your seat. I want your life to be very difficult. And I don't want you to have a political future because you fucked us. And people say, well, you're going to fuck yourself too. Well, we're already being fucked either way. So what difference does it make? You can't vote Democrat. Don't cut your nose to spite your face. We're being cut in the face every day. We're at war with Iran. There's no mass deportations. They want to legalize transgender surgeries for kids if the parents sign a form. How much more spited can we be? Our face is being spited every day. It's just now you get a share of it. You get a share of that. And hopefully, and that's just for the midterms. I wouldn't vote for a Democrat in 28. Maybe. But for the midterms, I want Democrats to come into the House to get oversight power to hurt this administration, and that's it. You know, you don't need to be a pro-woke.
You hear that, MAGA?
Republicans to open up a space in 28. That's what has to be done. And if you will not do that, then you're not listening to me and you're not being rational, okay? I'm losing my patience with you people because I told you in 24, I predicted all of it. I said you can't vote. And people still to this day, like they admit that I'm right, but they're like, okay, but voting Democrat, that's too far this time. It's like we have to do this. We have to do it. Just this once. We can vote Republican in 28. We can keep our options open, but for 26, we must give oversight powers. The House of Representatives is the people's chamber. The people, you are the one that insisted it's a binary. Well, I hate the Republicans now, so I'm voting for the other option. And I want it to hurt for them, and I want them to suffer and be diminished by it. And then in 28, I want them to be so degraded that a right-wing populist takes the primary by storm, and I don't know.
Yeah. So there, I'm going to leave it right there because, you know, that's where we disagree, and I'm going to stop Nick right there because I don't need any of that on the show, but you get what he's saying. This midterm cycle, ladies and gentlemen, it's really not a difficult. Rick. It's really not that difficult. This is about accountability and affordability. It's not about anything else. And I hate to say that because, trust me, I have a laundry list of grievances, but it's not about anything other than that. We have a demon in the White House, ladies and gentlemen. And the only people propping him up at this point are the bottom of the barrel demons. And they know exactly who they are. So one more time, ladies and gentlemen, join me in warming up the lake of fire. I know there's somebody out there laid up in a hotel right now with their side piece. And they know, because they came onto my show yesterday, and they shouldn't have told me that, but we know that there's a MAGA demon out there in a hotel room listening to this show, laid up with their side piece. They don't know it, but I know it. God put something on my heart this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in warming. I didn't mention any artist name. Don't do that, y'all. Don't do that because it could be anybody. Don't mention the artist name. Join me in warming up this lake of fire and sending these demons who are right now satisfying their flesh, but will have hell to pay. I had to do it. Y'all keep it clean out there. Come on, y'all. We got to have order in the kingdom.
Silence! Silence! You
Yeah.
MAGA
W
Damon!
Zeus. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I think you catch the drift of today's show. This was about $200 prices of barrels of oil that are coming to the American people, with gas prices going to be through the roof, and obviously voting blue, because outside of doing that, you must either hate yourself or you hate your country, and that's a huge W, Zeus. All right. I think I got a little bit of time before I got to get up out of here. All right. It's Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. You know it's an abbreviated show. But please send a guest request, and I'll try to get you in and out of here as quickly as possible, ladies and gentlemen. Hasn't it been an amazing show this morning? Hasn't it been an amazing show? I know it has been. You all are amazing, too. Good morning, Unstable Veteran. Welcome.
Good morning, Zeus.
Good morning. How are you? You were here the other day. I was trying to get you in, but I guess you had left.
I've been doing all right. I got sick there for a while, so been down and out, but back up for now.
Okay, good, good.
So we took some cattle off the other day. People think the beef is high now, and groceries and stuff. We farm here in Southern Ohio.
Okay.
Zeus, a 600-pound cow that I used to get, $1,000 out of, brought me almost $3,000. That's going to be good for my pocket, but it's going to affect the normal American person.
Uh-oh.
And these prices are going to skyrocket. And they said they don't see it coming down anytime soon.
We're talking about the price of beef?
The price of beef, yeah. Yep. I used to get some patties, pre-made patties. They was $18. They was $34 yesterday. So down there at the...
What about Argentina beef? What about that? Is that a thing?
I'm not eating no Argentina beef. I'm going to eat beef that's raised right here, and I wish I had enough to support everyone that's not MAGA. Hand that meat out. We do a little, farm thing here.
You said I'm not eating that Argentina beef, but I heard Donald Trump promoting Argentina beef, but I wouldn't eat it either. But what does that say to you as a person? Because you're in the industry. What does that say to you to see the beef prices going up? What does that say to you?
It sucks. Never in my 45 years would I ever expected them to be like this. Never. I mean, a little day-old calf is going for $500 and $600. Then you got to worry about scours, losing it. But then we'll talk about the price of fertilizer. It's spring. Time to get food, our crops in the ground.
Yeah.
Fertilizer, we can't even get a price. We buy it by the tons. And they said right now they can't even give us a price because they don't know what it's going to go up to. So these clowns that think, life is so peachy, MAGA, you cannot deny it. These things are affecting you too. And I'm as country as they come. So you can be a country boy and still have some common sense, MAGA.
Yeah.
You guys want to think the soft boys, this man will outwork any of you MAGA clowns.
Oh, wow.
I served this country. I'm going to continue to serve for the American people.
Thank you. You're a real patriot. You're a real you said unstable veteran. Wow. So I'm listening, and so what you're saying is the input costs have started to go up on the farms, or on the ranches.
Oh, let's not even talk about the diesel fuel prices, folks. It's just we're not making money out here, and we're going to have to pass it on. It's going to be sad.
Do you think this was inevitable though? Honestly, because a lot of people said Donald Trump had to do this, whether it's the tariffs or going into this conflict, he had to do this. So do you think that you're being a little too critical of Donald Trump? Because ultimately any president would have had to do this.
I'm not being critical enough of this Muppet. No, he did not have to do anything, include wake up. But that's for another conversation.
Yeah.
No, he didn't have to do this. They've been saying this for how many years? And everybody knows that.
Yeah. Wow.
But man, it's just funny. I got family members, we hear them on here, Dame and DJ and Goofy Timmy.
Yeah.
Tim, talk about, how they changed their minds. They're just a parrot. They're in a cult. There's no denying that.
They won't lace up
They-
a pair like you did. That's the one thing, right? Have you seen
No.
from where you're at, have you seen any Trump supporters saying, you know what, this is a righteous cause. Let me go ahead and fight daddy's war. Have you seen any on your end?
Absolutely not. They're staying inside, crying because they know they messed up.
Makes perfect sense to me. Well, listen up. I appreciate
All right,
you
cheers.
coming up here and giving us an update on what's happening with the farms or in the ranches. And I think to summarize all of this, what you're saying is consumers like myself, we should expect the price of whatever you're producing on your farm to go up because you're going to have to bury the cost in that, right?
Yep. It's not that we're producing the actual crop that's going in your store.
Mm-hmm.
We're producing ingredients, for our beef, you know, our livestock.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a chain reaction. So better buckle up. MAGA, we know you can't buckle up. So just anyway.
Wow.
Folks, take care. And thanks for bringing me up.
You're welcome.
And,
Thank you for coming up. W's in the chat. Unstable veteran. No lies detected. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, you can't make any of this stuff up, ladies and gentlemen, but this is really what's happening out there. Look who's up here, ladies and gentlemen. Ladybug decided to pay Big Zeus a visit. Ladybug. Watch. I bet you this was an accident. Ladybug.
Yes.
Oh, you finally decided to come up here and talk to us.
Oh, yeah. You mute me all the time, so of course I want to talk to you.
Well, I don't do that. I focus on my
Yeah,
content.
you do. Your mods do. Your mods do all the time.
what
'Cause
would
you
you-
guys are hateful and racist.
What would you like me to say to the mods, ma'am? Because this is I don't think I've
Everybody has an opinion and we all can use it.
Yeah.
If you can put blue hearts, I can put red hearts,
Yeah.
and you can leave us alone.
True. That's
True.
that's very true. You see how I can agree with you?
Yeah.
Okay, thank
But you have a lot of hate. Why do you do nothing but spread hate? Nothing but hate.
No.
Why don't you get on your lives and talk about how good the Democrats are? Why don't you how great everything's going?
Because I don't think everything is great. Did you ever
But let's talk about your Democrats.
Did you-
Why do you have to
Hold
why
on.
do you have to hate on Trump all the time?
Who's the president? Is it a Democrat president?
What did you
And-
do 2 years ago?
and-
I was here 2 years ago and it was still all
But-
about Trump. And he
no.
wasn't even president.
Ma'am.
You cry about Republicans all the time because you're fucking racist.
Come on, please don't use that. You know my mom is listening and my dad is listening. Come on.
Your mama shouldn't be listening because you're the most hateful person on TikTok.
Ma'am. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Have you gotten it all out of your system? Honestly.
No, I haven't because I cannot stand you. And I can't stand your moderator, Tara, and I can't stand your moderator, Rick. We can come on TikTok because it's social media and put our opinions just like
But
you.
what if they can't stand you? Have you
That's
ever
cool.
So who's
cool?
How do I draw the line then? Who's right?
And I'll tell you what, I laced my boots up for 8 years, and I would lace them up another 8 years to support Trump.
Well, have you enlisted again, re-enlisted?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a little old. I can't do that now. Can you?
Yeah, no.
I bet you ain't even
hold
put no boots on.
hold
I
on.
bet you couldn't put boots on.
I could.
You wouldn't pass the physical.
Ma'am,
No, you would
ma'am,
not.
let me tell you something about boots.
You're such a soy boy. You wouldn't
Ma'am.
pass a physical to
Ma'am.
save your life.
How about this? I'm a soy boy. How about this? Can you turn your camera?
Yeah.
Can you turn your camera on and show
Soy
us?
boy.
Can you show us how beautiful you are,
Soy boy.
ma'am? Can you just show us how beautiful you are this morning?
You and all of your fans are soy boys.
I literally gave you a free education this morning, and this is how you repay me? It's embarrassing. And then she ran. That's what I said. Did we all enjoy listening to that MAGA demon crash out? Did we enjoy that, ladies and gentlemen? Did we enjoy that? Come on, let's be honest. Tara, come on. No. She gave up the ghost. No. Remember all, you did this to her. You all must have been beating her up while I was doing what I was doing to the point where she literally came up here and exposed to all of us that she's clearly in a cult. And I didn't even want to waste any of the big words on her. I didn't want to do it because I could tell this woman right here doesn't even know how crazy she sounds. Who's worse, her or the Russian bear? And you know the Russian bear I'm talking about. Who's worse, her or the Russian bear? Because somebody got to go to hell on this show. Somebody got to go on hell for that. Go to hell for that. Which one's worse, her or the Russian bear? They said both. All right. Tara, you did a great job. You're getting to her. Rick, you too. Guess what we'll do? We'll send them both straight to hell on this show because obviously she comes to this show every single day, but she's missing. She hasn't learned a thing. What was her name? I forgot her name. I don't even know her name. Now that I think about it, I don't even know her name. What was her name? Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending those two twin demons, double demons, super double demons. Join me in sending them straight to hell. Wow.
Silence.
That made my day. That made my day, ladies and gentlemen. That made my day, except for when she tried to talk about my mama. Now, that was going to get her, but the spirit is willing and the flesh is weak. You know what I'm saying? All right, but, ladies and gentlemen, I got to say this. W to the chat. Whatever you're doing, keep it up. She had no leg to stand on, ladies and gentlemen. That meant I'm going to be smiling all day. What was her name? Someone know what was her name? What was her name? Because that made my day. That made my day. I knew that means I was just striking lightning all throughout the monologue. Get her again. What was her name? Ladybug? Yeah, Ladybug. I was just striking lightning. And she sent a guest request up here to Big Zeus. And I don't know what all of you were doing. I don't know what you all were doing, but it made my morning. Show's over. I'm done, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Ladybug. That made me feel good. Good morning, Takesha. How are you doing?
I was kind of offended by her speaking on Mama too, Zeus.
W Kabira. But Mama prayed up, Takesha. I know my mom said.
I don't care. I was a little offended.
Well, go ahead. Go ahead.
Don't
Speak
you
on
put
it.
Mama name in your mouth no more, lady.
Thank you. Thank you.
You didn't ever scrap up your boots and serve soup in the kitchen. Now, anyway, Zeus.
Hallelujah.
We don't play about our mamas. Don't do that. You don't tell her what she shouldn't be doing. You shouldn't be here. If you hate him so much, why you keep coming listening to his voice?
Amen.
Go away.
Thank you, Takesha. Y'all show Takesha some love. Hit that cash app. Hallelujah. We casted out devils this morning, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't know we was hitting that hard. Wow. The demons is scratching out. Go ahead, Takesha.
I get offended when folks talk, bring up folks' mama. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
But anyway, Zeus, listen.
Mm-hmm.
Trump told, the way Trump lied yesterday, Trump ought not even be here today. But I'm not mad at Mr. James.
Yeah.
Because as a born-again believer, Zeus, it's really getting hard not to hate him. You really got to pray your way through so that your anger do not turn into hate.
Amen.
Because I'm a pinch away.
Yeah.
From saying I hate this man. And I know we ain't supposed to hate him. We supposed to hate his sins and actions. But Zeus, it's hard not to, for real. You know how horrible of a person you got to be for people to wake up in the morning and before they say thank you, Lord, they checking the phone to see if you made it through the night.
Bingo. Speak on it.
You're very when people that really believe are trying hard not to hate you.
Yeah.
You're a demonic being.
Amen. Lord have mercy. You ain't lying. I'm trying my hardest, but I thought about it and I said, it take a lot to get me as a person because I'm a nice person, right? It takes a lot for me to get to this stage. But
Zeus, I don't hate people easily.
Yeah.
I might not like them, but hate is where you just take it over the top. And like I said, I'm trying my best.
All right.
Not to hate this man.
All right, Takesha, fine. I'm gonna try my best then too. How about that?
We got to do what we got to do. So we got to try our best. But Zeus is getting harder and harder by the day. I'm about to almost quote my friend. Some things, and I'm going to leave it at that, Zeus.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
All right, W's in the chat for Takesha. No lies detected. All right, ladies and gentlemen, moving it along. All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we're going to try to get in a couple more, and then I'm out of here because I got to go. Good morning, Nutty. Welcome.
See, I'm with Takesha. I wasn't even gonna come up today.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna take a couple of days just to listen in.
Yeah.
But that demon, that little bug, that little bug came in and started talking about our mama. Started talking about our mama. The fact that she talked about our mama, Zeus, I'm pissed off. I'm not even upset. I'm pissed off.
You are? Wow.
See, because here's the thing. For the last 6 years, 5+ years, that we've all been in this kingdom. See, I was with you when we were hard pressed to getting 10 people into live.
You were.
I saw the progression. What always has been the rule was that when mama's watching, we watch our language.
Amen.
We've all known this, right?
Facts.
And so we've, just like Kabir's mom.
Yep.
It's Kabir's mom, like Bounce's mom.
Yep.
It's our mom. We've all been adopted. Keep our mama's name out your mouth, fool, because we will lay holy hands in an unholy way on top of that head.
Yeah.
So keep mama's name out
Nutty,
your
you
mouth.
cleaned that up because I saw what you thought. Okay, yeah. He's on his game this morning, ladies and gentlemen. No, come on, show Nutty some love. Thank you. Because I can't say what he's saying. I'm the host.
But again, listen, and Takesha's right again.
Yeah.
As a believer, I've said it. I've already admitted it. I'm like, listen. I ain't even gonna front. I ain't even gonna be on Front Street. I have to pray every day and ask for forgiveness because I hate them.
Yeah.
I hate them.
No shame in your game about that, huh? You really hate him.
No, there is no shame. But see, here's one thing that I am not. I'm not a hypocrite. I can speak when I'm being wrong, and I know I'm being wrong. I'm not going to tell you, Zeus, you're wrong, and then I'm doing the same doggone thing.
Right. Because you're
not
a
a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Not a hypocrite.
Yeah.
And I know it's wrong to hate. But here's the thing, Zeus.
Yeah.
I can't help but to hate the devil. He's the devil. So there's no shame in this game.
promoted him. Wow.
Someone who is constantly out there hurting the human being, the human race, not just people in the United States.
Yeah.
He's beyond hurting the people of the United States.
Dang.
This is global now.
Yeah.
And look what he had. He's a little puppet of the Israel. He's a little puppet for Benjamin.
Wow.
And look what he allowed Benjamin to do, is to puppet his way to attack Iran. Iran didn't attack us. They didn't attack us. They didn't even threaten to attack us.
Lord have mercy.
And what did we do? We went and attacked them. But what's not being reported, Zeus, is that Tehran has responded in Israel.
Yeah.
And the BOMB that they dropped in Israel, did you see? Because it's not being reported. This is from per Al Jazeera.
Okay.
What they wrote on their ammunition was for the Epstein victims. They wrote that on the ammunition and dropped it in Israel. That's not so real. Al Jazeera is reporting that right now. Tehran is trying to get justice for the victims/survivors before the United States is. Wow. Y'all don't believe me? I always said, don't believe me, fact check me. I gave y'all the source.
All right.
Al Jazeera is reporting that right now.
Wow.
That Tehran,
this is crazy.
in their response,
this is crazy stuff,
wrote that on their ammunition. Here's another thing they're not reporting. Israel has lost almost $1 trillion from military bases within their borders from the attack from Iran.
Lord have mercy.
They are not reporting that. They're not reporting that. They're not reporting that Tehran, or Iran for some folks that don't realize that that's the same place. They're not reporting that they're doing some significant damage to the that's not so real.
Wow.
They're not reporting that. We're not seeing that on our medias.
Wow. So that's why I encourage everyone, honestly, don't listen to us only. Make sure you go independently, look this stuff up, right? Because this could be, we say educational purposes only, but I've been independently looking into things too, and I'm with you on this. We're not getting the real story about what's really happening over there if you're only looking at mainstream media. So W's in the chat for Nutty. Now listen, brother.
But Zeus,
Big Zeus got to get up out of here.
I understand that, but what did I just say?
What's that?
What did I just say? I gave them the source where I got it
Facts,
from.
he did?
See, here's the thing. I can't identify this eye by eye because I'm not there.
Yeah.
Al Jazeera has proven to be a reliable source. So I told them exactly where I got it from. This is not Nutty saying, this is what Al Jazeera is reporting. And I made it a point to say, this is what they are reporting. Not saying it's true. I'm saying this is what's being reported per Al Jazeera.
Yeah.
That we're not seeing on any social media or any media here in the United States.
Wow. This is.
So I'll let you get out of here, man.
All right.
Appreciate you.
W's in the chat. W's in the chat for Nutty. All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I got to get up out of here. All right, I got to get up out of here, ladies and gentlemen. It's been an amazing show. All right, it really has been. Hold on. I think Q-Dog said he has news for the kingdom real quick. What's going on, bro?
Real quick, Zeus. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
First thing on the agenda, she needs to change her name, and we need to get some pesticide because we can't have cross-eyed cockroaches coming into the kingdom. That's number one on the.
All right. Wow. And we know who that was for.
Oh yeah, Ladybug. We know what type of bug you are with them cross-eyed. You trying to get a little kibble on the ground so you and your family members.
Lord have
up
mercy.
in the kingdom.
Lord have mercy. Now what else you got? Yes, let's go.
Second on the agenda, I sent it to you and I sent it to Nutty. Remember what we were talking about? ICE.
Yeah.
Strapping up the boots and going over to Iran or whatnot.
Yeah.
Comes to find out in their contract that they signed for that bonus that they are subject to be deployed.
Oh, really?
All ICE members.
Oh, wow.
So you signed up for the job. You signed, and I reposted it. You signed up for the job.
Wow.
Now, the orange man in office gotcha.
They got the 50,000. Did they get the 50,000?
They got the 50,000.
Guess
what?
What's that?
Good luck to you, ICE. we appreciate you going over there and being all gung ho and Mr. G.I. Joe
Wow.
and Mrs. G.I. Joe.
Wow.
Go on over there and try that same crap that you've been trying in the streets over here in the U.S.
Good luck.
And hopefully you will come back to tell us how it worked out for you.
Tell him. All right, Q-Dog. Thank you for the news, brother. The Big Zeus has to get up out of here. Wow. What a great show, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry that I had to get up, but tomorrow I'll do the full show. I want to give a special thank you to all of you out there who tuned in this morning, especially to all of the subscribers, gifters, moderators, and panelists. We cook and we book. Thank you, Ladybug, for coming up here and letting me know that I hit very hard this morning because you really crashed out. And thank you to you in the audience who helped me to make Ladybug crash out. All right. But on a serious note, we got to give one last round of booze and shame. And this goes out to all the Zeus haters, especially you, Ladybug. You got up here talking crazy, talking sideways about my mama. And you know that's a no-no. That's a no-no to the no-no. All right? You don't know me like that, and I don't know you like that. But there's rules to this. And obviously, you don't understand them, so I'm going to help you. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending Ladybug and the Russian Bears. Join me in sending them where they belong, straight to hell. And I know they're screen recording it. Put that on your page. Put that on your page, you demons.
Silence.
Yeah.
You MAGA demons.
And that's a huge W, Zeus. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got to get up out of here. Take care. Stay safe. Have a great rest of your morning. What a show. Great show. No, you did great. Yeah, that ain't right. No, thank you. Have a great rest of your morning. Biden never did anything like this. You think gas prices were high under Biden?
Afghanistan mess left them behind. 13 soldiers gone. Joe acting blind.
Yeah.
What about Biden?
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cindy.
Yeah. What about Biden?
Zena. Thank you. Maddie. Thank you, Zena. W.
Hop in the White House,
Heaven.
call him Sleepy Joe, cognitive decline.
Everybody knows.
Stumbling words, just can't finish a sentence. Puppet on strings, who pulling the leverage? Hunter's laptop,
Hunter's
bullets and
laptop.
deals. China cash flow, million concealed. Family getting pain, influence pedal while we out here struggling, pockets unsettled. Weaponized OJ, FBI raids. Mar-a-Lago storm, but Hunter gets
Hunter
paid.
gets paid.
January 6th, locking up brands, but Joe specified docs in his garage, man. Keystone cancel, energy
Come on,
weak.
yeah.
Depending on foes, gas $4 a week. Crime in the cities, soft on the streets, defund the police. Chaos What for beat. about Biden?
Stole the whole election.
night.
Hey.
Read the votes.
Remember Biden did all of this?
Yeah, that ain't right.
What about Biden?
Borders wide open, let them flood it. Millions crossing, drugs pouring.
Hey.
Where we begin? What about Biden? Gas prices.
Gas
high,
prices.
Inflation
That did it.
wild.
Sing it,
Economy
Gina.
dying, can't feed your child. What about Biden?
It needs to be on the radio.
That's left from behind.
13 soldiers gone.
Joe acting blind. What about Biden?
This is a good question. Yeah, it's a good question, right?
Yeah. What about Biden?
Yeah. Here it goes. This is the question everyone has to ask themselves right here. Right, Malcolm X, right here. Dang. That hurts. That really hurts. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a great rest of your morning. We did it. We did God's work this morning. We destroyed these demons. They did.